Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day, maybe for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Layback Gamer, and I'm just choking on my own spit. But also, Odyssey, the official name of the DLC, has been announced. And I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot today was the 11th. I legit, when I uploaded that I forgot that there was an entire day between when I uploaded my initial thoughts on the teaser and this. So, yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking with the whole exploration, but it took a little bit of a different, added some extra stuff into it that I wasn't expecting. Mainly, excuse me. As you can see here, Gravships. So, we'll start at the top and then work our way down. We'll get to the 1.6 stuff closer to the, I guess, mid or end point of the video, since I'm going to have a lot to talk about here. I haven't looked too much into this, but let's get started. Odyssey enriches the world and expands your adventure beyond a single map. Build a Gravship, your flying home, to travel across the planet. Settle in new biomes with diverse landmarks and exotic wildlife. Go on quests to hunt Alpha Thrumbo or raid ancient crypto sleep bunkers. Launch into orbit and salvage tech from space stations and asteroids. But out in the void is an ancient machine mind stirs. Okay, so I guess this is kind of into Save Our Ships territory. I wonder if they're going to do something a little different with theirs. Maybe this can be considered like low orbit or mid orbit, and then Save Our Ships would be like high orbit or out of orbit. I just noticed I have a Stardaeus update. Anyways, releases in 1 month. So a little bit out from what I was expecting. I was thinking around Canada Day, but from the looks of it, it's going to release out a bit later than that. I don't want to pull up the calendar on here because, yeah, I don't want to touch the calendar on there, and I got my tablet right beside me. I can quickly check. So, the 11th is a Friday. Okay, that's perfect. That is perfect. I am probably, actually, I have half days on Fridays. Oh, I could get home and I could probably stream this. Now that would be exciting. Yeah, I'll see about potentially streaming 1.6 when it gets released on the Friday, the 11th. I'm thinking if it's exactly 1 month from this day, not 1 month general time. Anyways, build your own Gravship and travel across the planet. Land anywhere you want to explore, hunt for treasure, scavenge forgotten Gravtech, not Gravetech. I'm going to be saying Grave a lot, so my apologies for that. It starts small, just a grav engine, a few rooms, some thrusters, and a tank of chem fuel to get you airborne. But over time it becomes a home, a mobile colony of bedrooms, labs, hospitals, workshops, and everything your colonist needs. However, it does not leave the planet like Save Our Ships, so I'm wondering how they're going to incorporate this. Because this is almost exactly what Save Our Ships does. So, does that mean that mod gets obsoleted, or do they just have to change it around quite a bit? Because I imagine that even with Save Our Ships, they can have the different engine components and then attach them onto the ship here. It would make their life a little easier, I would think. I'm not sure, but I'm very excited about these Gravships. To expand your ship and go further, you'll need to collect Grav cores. You can recover these glitter tech devices from insectoid-infested caverns, ancient reactors rigged with traps, crash land shipwrecks, and orbital platforms. Odyssey is about exploration, adventure, and a new way to play. Live as nomads that move with the seasons and kidnap raiders by taking them while aboard. Embark on a 100-day journey around the world and collect one of every animal to build your zoo. Design the weirdest, ugliest, most glorious unhinged Gravship and see how far it gets you. Or hunker down inside an asteroid and live as long as you can in space. Oh, I'm going to be testing out some of these challenges. Definitely expect some good videos on that in the future. Explore new biomes. This is what I suspected, and I was very happy to see this. I was very happy to see that we are going into a volcanic area. I kind of had called that too, like, yeah, I see a little bit of volcano activity there. I would hope that we are getting something like that. And turns out I called that one out, so good job, me. Explore new biomes and landmarks. So we have the glow forest, bioluminescent mushrooms, and psychedelic spores in a glow in permanent darkness. Geothermal vents belch sulfur that block out the sun, and normal plants can't grow here. You need to survive on fungi alone. Kind of reminds me of the Forsaken Cave or Forsaken Plains, one of those two from Alpha Biomes. The Scarlands are war-torn remnants of once thriving cities. Craters rupture the road's vents. He release heat and gas, and toxic rain pours constantly. Mechanoids stalk these ruins, and the only surviving animals are dangerous mutants. The grasslands are a ranch and cowpoke's dream, endless fields of golden fertile land. While trees are rare here, the growing seasons are long and bountiful, and strong winds guarantee power for your turbines. However, drought can strike at any time, and many farms have been lost to the raging bushfires. Interesting. The glacial plains feel prehistoric. Blizzards smother the land. Herds of mastodons roam, and scimitar cats prowl the frozen expanse. Carve shelters into walls of ice or seek refuge among the buried frozen ruins, and live as the old ones did. Interesting. Very interesting. I imagine Neanderthals, if you have biotech, would thrive there. And the lava fields constantly change. Rivers of molten rock flow around the land in sudden bursts, swallowing up animals, buildings, and colonists alike. Volcanic debris crashes down from the sky, and thick ash makes it hard to breathe. Stay safe by building barriers to divert incoming lava, and wear face masks to protect your lungs. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Factorio's Space Age. The glow forests could be kind of like a gleba. The Scarlands would be Fulgora. Grasslands, well, you kind of have me beat there. I'm going to just cheat and call that Novalis. Glacier Plains, Aquilo, and the lava fields are Vulcanus. So, kind of, it feels a little Factorio with those biomes in there. Don't get me wrong, I like it, absolutely, but I'm wondering if they did take some inspiration from Factorio's Space Age when designing these. Maybe we'll see that a little bit later. The new landmark system combines these biomes, create endless landscape variation. Landmarks have different features that can affect everything from map generation to plant variety to rare resources like obsidian. Some features even add explorable underground maps like the insect Mega Hive. No two landmarks are alike. Good that they are using the cave system, the caverns that were introduced in Anomaly. Well, really 1.5. Because it would be a shame to never have anything done with them, especially with all the great work that a bunch of people have done trying to implement that system into mods with multiple floors. Ah, fantastic. Carved sprawling tunnels into cliffs, chasms, crevasses, and valleys for natural defense. Undergrounders rejoice, or just anybody who's trying to survive. Trying to build a mountain-based fortress. Settle near the ocean and build quaint fishing towns on islands, archipelagos, atolls, peninsulas, and fjords, or construct a whole town on the water using Odyssey's new heavy bridges. Take over abandoned colonies and repurpose them for your own base, repair the walls, use the furniture, harvest the gardens, and give someone's old home a second life. Raid ancient structures for resources like chem fuel, weapons, packaged meals, components, minerals, and more. This kind of sounds like it's adding a little bit from a bunch of different mods that were already in there, which is very cool to see. From these here, a little bit from Geological Landforms, I think is the mod, that's what that's called. This one here, combining it with, well, this is also, like, these 2 points could be the geological landforms. Over abandoned colonies kind of reminds me of the abandoned cities in Rim Cities, which is pretty neat. And this is just more Rimworld-based stuff. I like this photo. I really like this photo. So it looks like I guess the barricades here are preventing the lava from flowing in, although they are pretty much on fire. My hat's off to whoever designs these bases to be used. They do a fantastic job. I really need to up my game when it comes to map-based design. I'm happy with how my fortress turned out in my Curse of the Fallen Gods series, which we have to talk about that. I'll talk about those series at the end of this video. So, survive beyond the atmosphere. Break past the atmosphere and fly into orbit with your Gravship. In space, you'll land on wrecked orbital platforms, explore derelict satellites, and mine ore-rich asteroids. But look out, rival space scavengers don't take kindly to competition. Mechanoid wrecks promise the most advanced grav tech and unique treasures, but murderous machines lurk among the frozen debris. Space is harsh, no oxygen, sub-zero temperatures, and a single hull breach can be lethal. Airtight walls protect your colonists and their pets from the vacuum seal. Keep the power on or the oxygen pumps will shut down. Build airlocks with vac barriers to prevent depressurization and equip spacefaring colonists with vac suits before they exit into the void. Now, I do hope, and it kind of looks like this way from the picture here, that power armor like... sorry, I had a brain fart for a minute. Like marine armor. I think there's trooper armor, unless that's a vanilla expanded. Cataphract armor definitely is base game. So I hope the power armors do get the automatic pressurized, or it can be worn you can wear it as a skin suit, I guess, would be the best way to classify that. Point being, I hope we don't have to choose between both of them. But choose between either power armor or survivability in space. And I like these photos. These are pretty cool. This is the space scale. These are massive. Look at these ships. They are massive. Cute, terrifying, intelligent wildlife. Odyssey adds over 40 new animals. Wow, that's a lot of animals. I like that. That could be tamed, trained, traded, and eaten. I wonder what animals got added in. We got hint at the Mastodon and Alpha Thrumbo. Alpha Thrumbo being this guy right here, and I think these guys are the Mastodons. I think they were another name for the woolly mammoth, if I remember correct. I might be mistaken by that. You may correct me in the comments section. You might start your game in the grasslands with a single crow that steals your crops. Oh, this bird. Oh, that's why. I was wondering, because I pay attention to the vanilla expanded team and what they did. And by the way, I didn't mention this in the last video I did on 1.6, the teaser, but one of the things that made me believe that this was going to be an exploration is the fact that their team had not spoken or done anything related to their exploration mod in a long time. I think back in November, which kind of makes about sense as to when they may have went, hey, maybe you don't do this just yet, as we are going to be coming out with a brand new update. And I wonder if more of Vanilla Animals Expanded got added into this, which would be really cool if that was the case. Because I wouldn't mind some of that coming to base game. But yeah, that was also why I thought diplomacy might have been getting added in as well, because news of that just also randomly stopped. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Oscar doesn't have anything to do with that, or the entire team doesn't, which, yes, that's true, but if Oscar has worked on the art assets and some of the other stuff for this new update, then he would definitely have been aware that, hey, this big exploration part is coming. Maybe we shouldn't make a mod based on exploration until we get everything that is posted and done, ready to go for this. Which is why I thought diplomacy might have also been in there, but I guess that diplomacy isn't too big of a factor at the moment. No. Anyways, let me continue. Hold on. And this was the other part. Vanilla Animals Birds Expanded, I think had either mysteriously disappeared or never got talked about at all. So that's what I see. The crows here, and see your Gravship could be set up as an aviary filled with swans, peacocks, and flamingos and quail. That's what made me think, that's why we haven't heard any word on the birds part, because of that. As Well, I would think an animal mod would be pretty simple to do. And given the fact that he's been going over and redoing some of his older furniture mods, kind of gives a bit away that maybe some of the easier to do stuff probably wasn't going to be implemented because it's coming in a new DLC. So, anyways, back to on topic. Animals can be taught new skills to make them cute and useful. For example, dogs can now nuzzle colonists more often to lift their mood. Predators like wolves and big cats will hunt down specific targets for you. Other pets may dig up minerals or bring back foraged snacks. Even animals that can't normally be trained, like the humble walrus, can now be upgraded using a sentience catalyst, an ultra-tech injection that enables the animal to learn new tasks. So Wally the walrus can fight for... Are walruses base game? I'm pretty sure they're modded. I thought they were modded. So that is sweet. I guess some of the animals from Animals Expanded are coming into play. That's pretty awesome. I'm not sure if this one's copyrighted. Some species can now do just more than bite and scratch. The mastodon's deafening trumpet rattles enemies and throws off their aim, while the legendary Alpha Thrombo's roar is said to send attackers fleeing before the first shot is fired. That's really awesome. You can also fish. Different fish appear in different biomes. Oh, and you know what I'm realizing? There's another mod that they had posted out with their Vanilla Quest expanded Monster Hunt that they were going to be doing. And that also didn't get worked on. Instead, Dead Life got worked on, and I think that's actually been released recently, which is cool. But however, I've already got everything recorded for that portion of the series. So unfortunately, Dead Life's not going to be in my Curse of the Fallen God. Not that I really think it should be, because I have a better idea on where I'm going to put the quest mods in my universe building area. Anyways, you can fish. Different fish appear in different biomes and bodies. Colonists can reel in meals like tuna and salmon and other strange catches. So I guess fishing is also going out the window here. As we can see, we got these are either dire wolves or new skins for the wolves. I'm going to say they're probably dire wolves or alpha wolves. That looks like a mega wolverine. A wolverine there. And then you've got penguins, as well as the fish, which are pretty cool. So it looks like some mods from Vanilla Expanded are going to be making their way into the base game, which I approve of. I've been saying for a while, well, I don't know if I've been saying it on camera, but personally, I would love it if they put the vehicle framework as base game. It'd make people's lives so much easier. Quests across the planet and beyond. You'll discover new quests through ancient maps, passing travelers, and mysterious signals. Track down the mystic Alpha Wolf by Alpha Thrombo by following its herd across the wilderness. If you can bring it down, its priceless razor-sharp horn is yours. Raid ancient mercenary crypts where soldiers have recently awoken from crypto sleep. They guard Glitterworld supplies, and the gang leader owns a valuable weapon that could be yours. Interesting. Abandoned orbital platforms and derelict satellites drift through low orbit. They promise stockpiles of loot, but you're all competing with hostile salvage crews. Some orbital fugitives hole up in the wreckage. There are also defensive turrets, traps, and leftover mechanoids. Asteroid Mines offers rich veins of plasteel, uranium, and gold, but they're vulnerable to pirates and debris from space. Get out fast, and more. Oh, this is awesome. This is so awesome. We got, looks like one of the mercenary. Now, I can't, unfortunately, or I can't zoom in or out. I wish I could to be able to get a better view of the images here. It's unfortunate. Maybe by the time the next update, I'll have photos of these that I can zoom in and take a look at a little bit more carefully. These, obviously, pretty easy to do. And we got a new insectoid queen. Some more insectoids, too. I guess we're getting a Vanilla Factions Expanded Insectoid 2.2 update, if that makes any sense. A new unique weapon system lets you arm colonists with a special weapon they find. A sawed-off shotgun clears the room in a second. An AI-assisted... a new unique weapon system. An AI-assisted rifle scope makes the worst shooter accurate, and a full golden revolver just looks cool. Okay, well, I'll have to figure that. I'll have to piece that together out a little bit later, but that sounds pretty interesting. Is that a new gun, or is that just an HMG? That's definitely a new trap there. New gear that helps with new threats. Hunter drones chase their targets and explode on contact. Wasp drones stab their prey with paralyzing needles. Ancient century patrol ruins with a scattered gun to blast apart intruders. Cyclops mechanoid barrages enemies with shield-piercing gamma beams. And deep below, the insect hive queen stirs among her chittering spawn. Okay, this is an insectoid queen. Very interesting. I am very curious as to what Oscar's going to do for Insectoids Expanded to change that up. Because now, how is that going to work? How is it going to work? Yeah, this looks really cool, really nice. We've got two new This is the queen, obviously. We got, it looks like a new insectoid there. This could be the same as this. Yeah, I think these two are the same, possibly. One just has like wings deployed and the other doesn't. We have like a grub there of sorts, more eggs, some hives. That's all pretty cool. And we should be able to theoretically jump down that hole to go hunting insectoids. The machine hive mind. Far above the planet, the mech hive pulses with hate. Its mechanoids reproduce endlessly, and they will never stop attacking until every human on the planet is dead. When you reach the inhumane mine beyond this terror, you face a choice. Will you shut it down? Will you destroy it and shut down every mechanoid for good, or take control of its power? And that sounds like it's going to be an ending to the game. You can actually shut down the mech hive of the planet. That's fascinating. That is really cool. Odyssey comes with a brand new album, music by Alistair Lindsay, composer of the Rimworld soundtrack. If you'd like to support Al, sorry, not AI, the OST will also be available to purchase the same day Odyssey releases. I might actually consider doing that because the guy, as you can hear in the background with the music, the dude makes it made, or girl, I don't actually know. Pretty sure it's a dude. Regardless, this individual makes fantastic music. Absolutely beautiful. Really good. I loved his music. To me, the best thing out of Anomaly was definitely the music. It captures all the right notes. As you can hear in the background, this just captures all the right notes. So anyways, this concludes my review, or my look over of the parts of Odyssey that we know about. Overall, I'm very excited. I'm curious to see what they're going to go into more detail with. Oh, look, you can actually see the birds there. I didn't even notice that. You got the peacock, you got the flamingo. Is there any new animals in here that I can see? No. Oh, that looks new right there, but I can't zoom in, so I can't really tell what it is. That's a crane right there. That's neat. Yeah, I can't tell what that animal is. I hope they have some really funky animals coming into here. This one's got gazelle. I think that's an animal there. I can't tell though. Maybe like oh, that looks like that's that is a massive snail right there. That is a huge snail. This guy is not a lynx. Coyote. Could it be a coyote? Maybe a coyote? Because there's a difference between a coyote and coyote, and I don't think coyotes are in the game just yet. Or it could be a prairie dog. I think that's the name of them. I think that's what the name of those. Anyways, we got tiger there. I don't know if tiger was base game. I'd have to look that up. I'm pretty sure it's vanilla expanded. And we obviously got here. We've got probably like a maybe a saber-tooth there, possibly a saber-tooth. Not sure. I can't tell anything from here aside from this is just a massive mercenary vault with ruins amongst it. So yeah, overall, very excited so far with what we heard about 1.6. I'm sorry, Odyssey. And now, if you're just here for Odyssey part, that's all. That's all I have to say on Odyssey until the next time there is an update. So if you were just here about that, thank you for tuning in. And for those who want to keep watching, we'll go into the update for 1.6. It's available right now for beta testing. I'm not going to be beta testing it. I want to go into it and test it out for myself when it's all done. Excuse me. Unstable brands allows modders, yep, so hopefully there's also 1.6 modder primer. Neat. Hopefully this will let a lot more mods be updated and brought up to 1.6. I imagine that some people are probably working on that right now, trying to get it there. Anyways, performance improvements. A major part of what is performance optimization, especially for late game colonies that often struggles with performance. Yeah, I know that. A big part of it that I've noticed is pawns. The game loves to keep track of every single pawn that enters onto the map. And eventually you got like thousands of them loaded up. I think it even tracks the dead ones to a degree, or at least enough to mention them by name. We were many systems to spread out their workload. The pathfinding system is now fully multi-threaded and batched. And the lighting system is also multi-threaded to make it faster. There were lots of optimizations made to caravans, foraging calculations, egg laying, pawns, alerts, hauling animal pen calculations, as well as fixes to several major memory leaks. Oh, thank you for that. We've significantly reduced the launch time of the game in 1.6. For example, our development machines in 1.5 were previously launched in 18 seconds with all expansions. Now it launches with 4.66 seconds, and that's an additional Dang, these guys are doing fantastic. I'm hoping that I don't have to upgrade my computer for a long time. At least for the next 10 years. Note that your startup time performances improved may differ from our tests due to bottlenecks unique to your PC or mods. Obviously, yes. Oh, castle plan. Better planning. Plans are now more versatile than ever. Sketch out your base using 9 colors to differentiate your plans. Use blue for your living quarters like rec rooms and bedrooms, orange for production and workshops, red for furniture, and so on. Plans are also a lot easier to use. You can copy paste plans, rotate them, and give them names to remember what they're for. Oh goody! Better planning is added in. That's fantastic. It's something I don't do a whole lot of. But now that it's easier to make like circles and the like from the looks of it, I think it is. Might not be. Making this a lot easier to do will make things much better in the long run. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna get a quick drink. Much better. Designated draw styles. Designated tools like placing walls, floors, and now giving orders now have a different drawing style. This changes their patterns when you click and drag. Previously, they were only rectangles and straight lines. Now you can choose from shapes like angled lines, filled or empty ovals. Great news for builders who want to add more shape variety to their base. No more googling pixel circle generators. Squares are also easy to make. Just hold control while drawing with a designator. Nice. I like that. It was one of the reasons why I didn't I didn't want to grab any of the mods that did that. I didn't really want to learn them. But now that they're in base game, I guess now I kind of need to. Caravan camps. Oh, yes. Yes. That is a big feature I've been hoping for. Caravan camps and quality of life changes. Pitch temporary camps while traveling as a caravan. This creates a playable map for your colonists to eat, stabilize, and regroup when someone's bleeding out, starving, or sick with the flu. But don't get comfy. After a few days, enemies will close in. Camps can also be formed when a caravan would be considered lost, like everyone becomes incapacitated from food poisoning. Give you one last chance, one last shot at survival. Thank you for that. That makes caravanning a whole lot better. It's a big reason why I like to use the vehicles, because the speed makes that kind of null and void. However, with being able to set up caravans when everything spawns in, that when everybody is down. That is very nice. I like that. Thank you for that. The caravan tab oh, there's also a caravan tab too. Sweet. Makes it a lot easier to load or unload items. And in an emergency, you can order your caravan to depart immediately. Colonists will get out of there ASAP, leaving behind unpacked items, animals, and even downed friends. That's pretty cool too. Very reasonable. Easier building upgrades. You can now place blueprints over certain buildings to swap materials or upgrade them. This applies to walls, conduits, doors, sandbags, barriers, fences, chairs, and beds. For example, you can place a plasteel wall blueprint over an existing wooden wall. That means you don't have to manually deconstruct the wall, wait for it to finish, and then place the new blueprint down. Thank you for that. That's nice to have that feature added in. I don't actually know what mod that adds that in, so that's why I've never played with it, but that's good to see. Search bar improvements, the in-game search bar bottom right corner magnifying glass or Z key is better at finding items. It'll look at your colonist gear in any containers, and you can use it on the world map. We've also added a search bar to the save and load menu to find old favorite save game. Oh, that's nice. Very nice. Does what better saves does. Thank you. Map app generation. We reworked how map features behave to make the world feel more organic and varied. Rivers now curve more naturally and carve walkable banks. When running through. Oh, okay. Larger rivers even form canyons. They also better match their angle on the world map and can generate with fertile riverbank terrain for farming. We also made rocks more interesting. Coast and mountains come in more diverse shapes, and the world map now shows where features like caves are in the tile inspection plane. Nice. We've also added a smaller environmental flair like cypress trees that grow in mud and marsh, and glow pods that always spawn by insectoid hives for nasty ambience. Very cool. I also like what's going on here. What's happened to the bears here? Are these bears infected? Oh, that's Scaria. That's the Scaria there. Yeah, I just looked down there. Flying animals. Chickens, ducks, and geese can now fly. Flying makes them faster, lets them soar over obstacles like fences, and means they can land or leave from just about anywhere. Oh joy, it's going to be a much more of a pain to keep them inside. More of a pain to keep them round up in a pen. Thank you. I'm going to be switching over to walls from now on. Scaria reworked. Scaria got scary. Infected animals now look the part, manged red, and covered in spores. You really don't want them to get close because wounds from scar-infected creatures cause scar infections. These behave like a normal infection but cause full-blown scaria upon reaching 100%. Humans can turn too. Oh, Scaria just got a lot more deadly. And that means greater Scaria is going to be deadly too. Oh my. Room changes. Colonists are happy with mediocre bedrooms and less upset by awful ones. Thank you. Medical beds contribute less towards a room becoming a hospital due to situations where barracks can become hospitals from a single bed. Some production and buildings now get their best work done when they're in the right room. Research bench in labs, for instance, although that's kind of self-explanatory, really, but I guess, I guess that one is, but maybe some other ones. Yeah, that's a nice change. This makes it more rewarding to build reasonable-looking bases with purpose-specific rooms instead of stuffing everything into one big hell chamber. Aw, but I love doing that! I love shoving everything into one chamber and go, yep, that's it. You'll have one research room, one production area that also has all the storage in it. And yeah. Armor and weapon changes. We've rebound some combat gear to make things more useful and less clunky. Plate armor benefits more from high-end materials. Advanced armors don't slow you down as much. Flak jacket and pants offer better sharp protection, while flak vest no longer covers the shoulders. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Some ranged weapons are deadlier. Snipers fire faster and hit more often. Charge lances reach further. Revolvers and miniguns are more accurate. Pila hit harder and faster. Charge rifles deal more damage and reach further. LMGs shoot faster with a small damage boost. That's nice. That'll give a little bit more options for late game equipment. because it's a shame that charge lances I don't think they're used nearly as much as they could be. UI improvements. On the world map, there's a jump to gizmo that shows your colonists, caravans, and quest locations so you don't have to spin the globe to find them. There are also special colored borders for world objects, green for active maps, yellow for anything that you could type in the search bar, and yellow for anything you can type in the search bar. You can rename bills and use the new Make Default button for policies, plus many minor but convenient UI improvements. Nice. Water is more beautiful. It reflects the sky and ripples when walked through. There are also new desiccated corpses for big birds and filth textures for sandbags. Excuse me. Very nice. Quality of life. Tons of little quality of life changes. Quest joiners now show their best skills before you accept them, so it's not a total dice roll. Thank you. That often is what people... I don't like rejecting people, but when they come in and they end up being absolute garbage... Yeah. Can this... I want a slight caveat to this. Can this change factor in backstories? So, for instance, let's say you have a colonist that comes in and say has level 20 cooking. Fantastic, beautiful, amazing. He's an assassin though. He can't use that skill, so it's no longer viable for him. Can it factor that in? If it factors that in, excellent, fantastic. If it doesn't, it would be nice if you could do that. Colonist also prioritizes burying people in sarcophagi over graves, and they won't burn your medical supplies by default if you have a burned drugs bill. Really? That was a thing? Huh. I've never actually burned drugs before. So, I didn't know that. They also move items out of the way before building doors. Thank goodness for that. You know how annoying it is to manually tell people, move the thing out of the door. Because I won't remember to do that. Plus, steam geysers are easier to spot when placing a geothermal generator. Miscellaneous. We have a bunch of small things for 1.6 that are covered in the full changelog. Among these changes are paintable bridges, the ability to dress other people like prisoners, and toggle on special trees to stop them from being accidentally cut down. I like this one because it's a pain to strip people in the prisons just to make sure they get rid of the armor, and then let the gear just sit there and hope nobody goes and picks it up so that the prisoners can redress themselves and don't have a I'm naked debuff. Excuse me. We heard what you were asking for, and it makes sense. After 10 plus years of building Rimworld colonies on a single map, Odyssey opens up an entirely new playstyle. We're super excited to see what you'll do with it and all your wild, beautiful, and ridiculous Gravships. Thank you for listening. It is definitely something that was much needed. My only caveat is I wish you did something with water. I wish you did something with the water a little bit. It would be nice to be able to use some of that. Maybe in a future update, they can add a naval part to this, being able to explore underwater. It makes complete sense. I mean, we got the ability to now explore low orbit / mid orbit places with the Gravships. We can build like a submarine bay. Yeah, it's a little more of a focused DLC, which is something that Anomaly was, but unlike Anomaly, the concept of Anomaly was really good, but wasn't the best done on paper. I can admit that, and I think the team admits that. But a deep sea one could be really well done if done properly. So hopefully in the future we see a ocean and deep sea DLC. But anyways, this was about Odyssey. And I'm very excited for Odyssey. I cannot wait to play Odyssey when it comes out. And I'm probably going to be streaming it. So what's going to happen, now that I've talked about 1.6 and Odyssey, I'm going to talk about my series, just make a brief mention of them. What's happening with those guys? Well, one of them, actually on both of them, they are both at really good points that I could theoretically cut the story there. I could cut the story off and jump to it and do something new for them. I'm currently working my way through all the videos that I have pre-recorded for that. I don't have all the goals done for those videos that I wanted for those series, but I can cut it short because of 1.6 if I choose to go with that route. So, fortunately for you guys who have been enjoying the series, there's still plenty more coming out for this. I might accelerate them a little bit because I do want to get a 1.6 series going so that I can, you know, play around with the new features. It's all going to be on vanilla, of course, because I want to do it on vanilla. I don't think I'll have anomaly toggled on for that. I might have the ambient anomaly stuff, or at the very least have the monument level 1 activated so I can get the anomalies kind of in and around with Odyssey. Maybe not. No, I'll have the option that doesn't have the anomaly endgame, but just adds them into the world, which I think would be still pretty cool to have. And then traveling around. Imagine traveling around with an anomaly ship and, well, a ship dedicated to anomaly stuff. Traveling around, trying to find different stuff related to that. I think that would be pretty cool. So, yeah, my series, I've got a lot of it pre-recorded, ready to go. As you could see, as you probably have seen by my Curse of the Fallen God going still pretty strong. I think it's going to end up coming off of the upload alongside all of my other series every week in favor of, I don't want to say Odyssey. Well, Odyssey for a while, but then afterwards it's going to be replaced with something else entirely. But yeah, I'm very excited for the... Oh, excuse me, my throat's getting sore again. I'm very excited for what's to come with Odyssey. I cannot wait to cover this. I imagine we're going to be getting at least 2-3 more posts to see what we got. Hopefully we go through some of the animals that are being added in, and one of the updates I want to see, because I really want to see some of this other stuff that expands the insectoids and mechanoids. Very excited. This update is exactly what the game needs, and I think this update probably has the potential to be as good, if not better, than Biotech. I'm calling it right there, just from what I'm seeing here and how hyped I am for this, and I imagine how hyped a lot of people are for this. Calling it now, I think this could possibly be as good or even better than Biotech, which no other DLC has done so far, and I didn't think no other DLC could be able to do since Biotech. So, stay tuned for more. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching my video. And as always, I'm the Layback Gamer. Till next time, take it easy.